It is mud season.
Yeah, this one's
maple syrup.
This is the dark amber.
Darkest is the strongest.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of the nicest trees that we tap.
Was that informative?
Yes, it was.
We're at 31,000 trees this year in the next 3 years or so.
Okay, a little muddy out here. That's what you get in spring.
Well, and we are in the back parking lot, so.
Hey, Wade and Sharon, the Grandstreeters, here at Ben's Maple Shack. What is it?
Ben's Maple Shack.
Ben's Maple Shack, also known as Maple Station.
Yes.
And that means it's March. And it's sugar season out here.
It is.
All March is like maple tour season throughout northern New England, Vermont, and especially New Hampshire.
Yes. So we are here to check it out.
Yep. So come and join us. Skip the line. Order from our deli while you shop. There's the QR code.
Then I wouldn't. You've already
Chillin'
fallen
some
a
sodas
couple times,
in the
honey.
snow.
For Maple Month. I'm going to teach you guys a little bit more about how we operate on a large-scale maple farm. You may notice we're actually driving away from our new facility. We're going to actually go up the street to our old location. We're going to show you where the business started years and years ago. It takes a lot of sap to produce even 1 gallon of maple syrup. On average, between 40 and 50 gallons of sap when boiled down will give us that 1 gallon of syrup. That number does shift throughout the season depending on how much sugar is in the sap when we collect it. And it was then and there he decided that this is what he wanted to do for the rest of his life. So that first year, his parents bought him a small wood-fired evaporator. He's been doing it ever since. First year, he had, I think, just over a dozen trees, and he made syrup for family and friends.
Here at Ben Sugar Shack, we got about 31,000 taps in this year. This is what a tap looks like nowadays. Any maple tree 30 inches around is going to get 1 tap in it. Any maple tree 60 inches around is probably going to get 2 taps in it based on the health of that tree. And very rarely, if ever, do we find 3 tap trees. But when we do, we're taking pictures of it, sending it to Ben. We love finding big monster maples out in the woods, kind of while we're doing what we're doing. Now we tap 2 types of trees here. We tap red maples and sugar maples. That is a sugar maple. That's almost to the point of calling a sugar cow just because of how good the top is and how big it is and how much sugar it produces for us. We're just collecting the sap. Now these lines, like I said, run uphill and they run for a very long time. These 2 lines right here run for about 2,500 to 3,000 feet. So that means our last tap is right around 3,500 to 4,000 feet away from where we are right now. And it's way up on the side of the hill. So we get a really nice gravity assist. We always want to use gravity to our advantage. We never want to fight gravity, but we can help gravity out by using a vacuum system. And we use a vacuum system. So we start tapping the end of December. This year was the 26th. And we won't pull our taps until the very end of the season. So each day we should expect roughly 1,300 gallons of sap to be waiting in that tank.
So was that informative?
Yes, it was. Very, very good.
It's actually too efficient. So we do not currently get enough sap to run this machine all the time. It's too big. But we had it built that way because we are growing. We're getting bigger every year. We're at 31,000 trees this year. In the next 3 years or so, we hope to be over 60,000 trees.
Thank you. Where they make the maple syrup. That thing's huge. Look at that.
Everything that we covered so far. So we had the woods, the trees, the lines, the pump house, Nile, the squirrels. All of that was ultimately to get to this point where we're going to take that sap and boil it down to make maple syrup. Now, I did tell you guys at the start of the tour that you would get to meet the Ben of Ben Sugar Shack. He's the guy standing right next to me, the guy that started it all. So Ben's going to wrap up the tour now. He's going to tell you a little bit more about this machine.
Alright, as Joe said, I am Ben. I started making maple syrup when I was 5 years old. I took a field trip when I was in preschool to another sugar shack and learned all about making maple syrup. And I came home, told my parents all about it. And the next day my dad made me a little homemade evaporator, and we tapped 13 trees that year and made a little bit less than a gallon of maple syrup. Next year for a Christmas present, my parents bought me a real evaporator and built me a small sugar shack, and ever since then I've been tapping more and more trees. The time I was 15 years old, I won the Carlisle Trophy for the best maple syrup in the state. This is pure maple syrup coming out here. And you have to check the maple syrup with the hydrometer. Maple syrup is 67% sugar, so it's floating right there at the red line. There's 3 different grades of maple syrup. There's a golden delicate, which is more sweeter, more of a delicate flavor, and then it goes to an amber rich, which gets a shade darker with a little bit stronger maple flavor to it, and then a dark robust, which is the darkest with the strongest maple flavor to it.
That is a whole tub
Yeah, this
of
one's
maple
a steam
syrup.
powered, so we can...
They have some charts here of how much maple syrup they made in 2025. Looks like 11,000 gallons. They made it by April 14th. That was the day after my birthday.
Yes, and it takes 40 gallons of sap to create 1 gallon of syrup.
2026, they're just getting started with the first boil. They had 312 gallons. The journey of maple syrup starts when you tap the trees, collecting clear, slightly sweet sap as it flows through the tap lines, and it goes into the holding tanks. They do a reverse osmosis process, removes up to 75% of the water, concentrating the sap before boiling. It's the reverse osmosis machine where they remove 75% of the water. And it goes through the evaporator, which is what we saw when we came in. It's boiled at high temperatures, transforming it into a rich syrup. Goes into the maple syrup holding tanks, filtered syrup in stainless steel tanks, ensuring top quality before bottling. Then it goes into the bottling section, long last store shelves.
So the golden is the lightest and it's the sweetest. Then you go to the medium, which is a little bit darker and has more maple flavor. The darkest is the strongest.
And of course, you get to sample all the syrup too. Doing maple snow cones. This is the light type, which is extra sweet. Oh yeah, that's really, really sweet. This is a medium amber. That's not as sweet. A little bit more exaggerated maple flavor to it. This is the dark amber. Sharon's going to try the cream cookie.
Good, but it's sweet.
Piece of maple candy here, which I'm going to try. Not bad. Kind of like eating a sugar cube. Probably not good for me. Maple donuts. Got their packaging room. They got a window here where you can actually buy maple syrup equipment. There's the various tools that you need for making the maple syrup and tapping it. Pails, yep, all sorts of stuff. Got the tubing that you can string between trees. See, they got a whole bunch of stuff here going on. What do they got here? Ooh, roasted nuts.
Yes.
Cashews and almonds.
Yeah. But they're free samples up here.
How are they?
Good. I think you're gonna want to come home with a thing like you did for Bucky's.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe, I like the pecans, but maybe some almonds? What do you like?
Pecans.
Oh, you like them?
Yeah.
But they don't. Oh, they do have pecans. Oh, look at that. I see that. Okay. They have hive honey. Oh, nice cheese board. Look at that. I could make good use of that. Now, this is interesting. Sugar maple charcoal. Stump chunks. Maple cotton candy. Melts in your mouth and in your hand. They do have a produce store here. Maple pecan pie. There's a bottle of that maple lemonade. I might pick up one of those. This is interesting. I wonder what this is. Wellness swig. Fire cider. So the fire cider has raw apple cider vinegar, raw honey, organic lemon, organic ginger root, horseradish root, organic onion, organic turmeric, garlic, rosemary, black pepper, and jalapeno pepper. Shall we share a swig?
Nope.
They even have the meats. They're ribeye steak. Lots of sauces and dressings. Lemon curd, sriracha aioli, maple bacon aioli, maple balsamic dressing. Here's a nice dish towel for you. Ooh, lots of cheeses here. Gouda, cheddar, feta, fontina, Irish cheddar. Yeah, they have a snack bar with things from the deli and from other things from the kitchen. They have a little snack bar with deli sandwiches and other things from the kitchen. Yeah, and they'll serve breakfast all day too. So in their deli, they have steakhouse steak tips, teriyaki steak tips, Pig Rock maple sausage, maple wings, grilled chicken. Yeah, chicken salad, roast turkey, and a lot more other things too. Yep, and they do have the meats. Of course, they have maple candy. That is a huge bottle of honey. Look at that. They've got the lighter and the darker. And honeycomb. And just in case you want something smaller, they do have that too. Because it is a maple syrup place, they have plenty of maple syrup. Not this, smoked chili infused maple syrup. Okay, so that was our outing to Ben's Sugar Shack, Maple Station. I hope you enjoyed it and learned some stuff. We did.
Yes, we did.
So, consider clicking the like button if you liked this, and maybe subscribing. And if you want to learn more about maple, check out this video up here. So until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the streets.
Bye.